Hello there everybody, and welcome to another episode of Path to Petalburg with me, Norman. You see here, I am using a team of Rotom Wash, Amoonguss, Gengar, and Thundurus against my opponent Chaz, who has a team of Cresselia, Aegislash, Kangaskhan, and Heatran. I liked this battle because it showed that it showed how you can use Hex as an effective way to counter opponents' teams rather than using, say, Shadow Ball. Shadow Ball has a decent base power of 80, whereas Hex, when it's paired with a Pokemon who has a status condition, gets a base power of 100, I believe. And so a little more powerful, although it requires setup for it, namely in the Amoonguss and Thundurus with Spore and Thunder Wave each. So it's really up to the player's decision to choose. I like this one a bit right now because it's fun to use and people don't necessarily expect it. So with that, let's get into this battle. So they start out here with their Heatran and their Kangaskhan. And I, in turn, start with my Amoonguss and my Rotom. So this first turn I figure that they're going to fake out the Rotom and they're going to Heat Wave, so I want to save my Amoonguss for the next turn. Seeing that they do target down my Rotom here with a critical hit on that fake out there. But surprisingly they stay in Scrappy form. Perhaps they thought I might have switched out into Gengar, reading that too much, but it happens. In any case, they're going to Mega Up this second turn here. And knowing that they can't use Fake Out anymore, I'm going to Rage Powder here to draw any fire from that Kangaskhan, which is a good thing because they use Double Edge here, so that means that Rocky Helmet damage will come out onto the Kangaskhan as well as recoil damage. So it's going to do a lot of damage to itself. At the same time doing a lot of damage to me though, but not knocking me out outright. See, they're down to about 35% health. And since I do outspeed their Heatran here, my Rotom is definitely more offensively geared, seeing as it has choice specs. Hydro Pump here is going to knock out that Heatran, and they bring in Cresselia to replace it. So, knowing that they don't have a great matchup against this Amoonguss, they withdraw their Kangaskhan and send out Aegislash. I decided to draw any fire toward my direction, seeing if they decided to stay in with their Kangaskhan, in case. And Hydro Pump here does do a lot of damage to this Aegislash, just over 50%. And the Psychic here will knock out my Amoonguss, but it has done its job very splendidly. So, seeing that I have my Gengar in the back, I want to set up the field for it to use Hex to finish this game. And this turn I actually timed out because I was distracted, but thankfully I was able to get a taunt off, luckily, onto the Aegislash here, and my Rotom here is locked into Hydro Pump with the choice specs, so it can only use one attack, but it unfortunately targeted the Aegislash. In any case, next turn up, I do not get distracted, and I decide to Thunder Wave the Cresselia. And Hydro Pump misses the Aegislash, unfortunately, and although that is kind of made up for by the fact that I get the full para onto the Cresselia. And this Aegislash decides to Shadow Ball my Thundurus, and it does about a little over 50% damage, but it parks my Citrus Berry, meaning that I have pretty good health left. So I taunt the Cresselia just in case they decide to go for some kind of status move, and Hydro Pump misses again. Not having a good luck with it. And they decide to Psychic my Rotom here, knocking it out, so last couple turns Rotom really didn't do anything, but it did knock out the Heatran, so it did something very important. And lastly, my Gengar comes in. And against a taunted Aegislash and a paralyzed Cresselia, it's going to do very well in this match right now. So, Mega Up this first turn here. Thunderbolt here to knock out the Aegislash is definitely going to hit it and knock it out in Blade form. And I get to use Hex to its full capabilities because they are paralyzed. And that is one of the few times you can see a one-shot onto Cresselia, because it is just so overwhelmingly powerful. And lastly, their Kangaskhan comes out here. So I figured they're going to try and knock out my Gengar here, so I bait them into the Sucker Punch here, just to draw the fire at least. And this Thunderbolt here, I am fully offensive with my Thundurus, so I figure it's going to knock it out. Which it does. So really wasn't too concerned much as far as the chances and my odds of winning the match went. It was a pretty good matchup for me most of the time, and I did like the way this team battled with the option for Sporing and for Thunder Waving to set up the Hex for my Gengar in the back. And Rotom picked up a good knockout in the beginning against the Heatran, which is a Pokemon I tend to have some problems with, but seeing that the Hydro Pump hits about 80% of the time, it's a very good chance that Hydro Pump will hit the Heatran and knock it out. So I like this team. It's been really fun using it, and I plan to continue using it in the future. I want to see how far I can take it on the battle spot and see if it can't get me into, say, the 1800s. It'd be really fun to do. If that happens, I'll let you know when I get that such a rank. But until then, if you like this video and want to continue seeing more content like it, give this video a like down below, subscribe to our channel for more updates in the future, and while you're at it, check out our Facebook page, Competitive Pokemon Battle Network, link in the description below. Thank you all for tuning in, and I hope to see you next time.